Congressman, thanks so much for being here. I know you've had a long day, as well as all the local officials and our emergency responders as well. Thank you for getting that information out to everyone as fast as you can and bringing the NTSB in here. The mayor, when he was here, told us that there is another death. We're up to 12 now. One is a child. This is a very difficult day for the city of Louisville. You went out to the scene with the mayor. He talked about how difficult that was. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, 12 lives lost that we know of right now, and obviously we don't know what's going to happen, what happens to that number, but the governor even said there could be a handful more. You know, last night in Louisville, the skies were apocalyptic. I was getting text messages from everybody. I was in D.C. when it happened, even before the news officially broke. Even one of my kids just texted me and said, "Dad, what happened?" You know, I know people here were scared, but to go out to the site today and see it, it's like nothing I've ever seen before. It's like something out of a Terminator movie. The wreckage, the mangled, charred cars and tankers. Seeing some of the landing gear or tail pieces, it was the swath of destruction. You could just see where this plane came through. The smell, the oil. It's devastating, and it's going to take a while to piece together what happened and take a while to clean up.
You were with the NTSB investigators today for a good time. Todd Inman, of course, who's from Owensboro, Kentucky, leading this effort here. What's the timeline you've learned? When could we get a preliminary look or an early report on this crash in Louisville?
Yeah, the NTSB, they've been great. I was on the phone with them all last night. They landed this morning. They have hit the ground. They are already on the scene. They're going. Todd, being from Kentucky, is also fantastic. You know, us working with a Kentuckian. What we see typically in these types of things is the NTSB come out with a preliminary report. That preliminary report typically takes around 30 days. I don't want to say that's their time frame on this, but that's a lot of times what you see, and usually gives us a pretty good picture of what happens. We saw a similar timeline even with the terrible plane crash in Washington, D.C. earlier this year. And then they'll do a final report that takes a lot longer, but that final report has a lot of things in it, like what happens to metals, what happens to different things. That preliminary report, I think, is going to give people a lot of answers.
Congressman, you knew the owner of one of those businesses who had a conversation with the mayor. The governor knows him also, Sean Garber. And he had said that some of his employees and customers are believed to be some of the dead. That has to be difficult, like hearing it firsthand from someone you've met.
Oh, it's awful. I mean, I've been out to that place before. I knew exactly where it was and had texted with him shortly after it happened, even just to see if you're okay. Are you and your family okay? I mean, even there now, amidst the charred wreckage and things happening, you can see a few signs of what used to be there, because you know the plane went through a swath and it destroyed everything in its path. It's like a missile went through. But then on the edges of it, life begins to slowly return to normal. And you could see the signs of his business, and his logo is a dog because of his dogs that he always brought to work. And you know, it's just being out there when that place is fully running and seeing the employees and seeing the team, and then going out there now and seeing it, it's devastating.
You know, I'm struck, you got off a flight and came directly here after the Old National Bank shooting. You saw how long that took this community to get through that very slow week, it seemed. And now we have this week, as we are sitting on Wednesday. You've seen the debris field. Do you want to prepare the community for how bad this could get? I mean, there's no end that you, the governor or the mayor, can actually give us at this point.
No, it's awful. I mean, it's just awful. 12 people have already lost their lives. You know, and the devastation's there. This is going to rock this community for a while. I mean, you know how tight-knit we are as Louisvillians. Everybody asks, when they say, what school did you go to, they mean high school.
You went to Manual?
Yeah, I went to Manual High School. You know, people know, and we all are going to know someone impacted by this tragedy. And that, just like the Old National Bank shooting, I think still hurts this community.
Yes, it does.
This is going to hurt. You know, I know I can't drive by that spot on Main Street and not think about it, and this is going to hurt for a while too.
Congressman, you mentioned at the press conference that you have been, a lot of your colleagues in Washington have been reaching out, a lot of them from Kentucky, Rand Paul, Andy Barr, others, just saying, what can we do? Can you tell us about that at all, what you're hearing, and if you need help, if the state needs help?
Yeah, this is, I mean, it's so awful, and the lives lost and the damage and the destruction, but our first responders who jumped headfirst into action in unbelievable circumstances. I mean, and then came in from all across the county and all across the state, just incredible. The coordination of the local, state, and federal officials. You know, this is when we come together as Kentuckians. And so, yes, you know, I've been in touch with Senator McConnell, Senator Paul's office, Congressman Guthrie, others, Congressman Barr, you know, about this, because we want to bring the full resources of the federal government to bear on this, to partner with local and state officials and make sure we're getting those answers. We're getting relief for families, we're getting relief for the community.
And you all have emphasized this, but you're convinced too the government shutdown is not impacting this. I mean, you have 28 investigators coming to Louisville.
The full resources of this have been brought to bear. The NTSB has said there's no impact of this from the shutdown. The Secretary of Transportation said today there's no impact from the shutdown on what has happened or the investigation going on there. So you have everybody sort of, I think, in agreement on that.
All right. Congressman Morgan McGarvey, always a great voice for Louisville. Thank you for coming in.
Thank
Appreciate it. Reassuring the community. And it was this time last night that